Welcome to the Battlefield Show. I'm your host, Sage Goodwin, and as always, I'm joined by Sammy Boy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Doing swell today. I am ready to hop in, and today we're going to be discussing everything that we know about the limited time only mode coming on Halloween. So let's jump right in. Dude, you pretty much nailed it.
For the first time ever.
You put on the tinfoil hat,
yeah,
and it protected you from the gamma rays.
It was probably a long time coming, the amount of predictions I make that do not pan out, so I was due one.
Have you seen those Twitter accounts where they just make a bunch of random predictions and
eventually they get
and
one.
then eventually they just reshare it when they get something right?
Yeah, that's me pretty much.
It's the battle. Don't look about the ratio of success. Just look at this success.
Yeah, that's the best way to look at it.
So if you haven't seen, it's the limited time only mode that is launching very soon, 5 days away as we're recording this, and it's launching on Halloween. It's going to run from October 31st all the way to November 14th.
Yeah, it's
2 weeks.
A long one. I kind of just thought it would be 1 week because it's Halloween, but yeah, they've gone and done 2, which is good.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that. Like, I think we've all mostly complained about the level of, not level, but length of time that they usually dedicate to these limited time only modes. It feels like just as they're about to get good and you feel like you're doing well and you're successful with your strategies or whatever, they end up not keeping it anymore, I should say.
Yeah, it's very. That's I think one thing that kind of does suck about limited time mode sometimes is that once you finally get into your groove with them, they just disappear. So it's like you miss the peak fun opportunity, but then also most of them are, I guess they get boring by that point, so it's probably a fair enough time. But I feel like the last day of every mid-season event, not only in this, but just like any limited time mode, I'm always like, damn, they're really going to remove this today? Like, I finally got good at it.
Yeah, it like just about to hit the groove, just about to do everything that needs to be done, and then no, sorry, buddy, you're not doing that anymore. I was talking, so I was watching the trailer, and my wife in the kitchen was like, "Is that a new Battlefield thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, yep." And she's like, "Oh, does it look good?" I'm like, it looks really good. The only problem is, it's probably not going to go long enough, from what I can tell. Like, this looks like a new fan favorite, I think.
Yeah, it definitely looks the most unique of. Well, not. It doesn't look the most. It is definitely going to be the most unique of any of the ones we've had so far. They've all been, like I said, pretty just close to like their normal modes, and then it's just like a tweak.
Pretty Portal-esque.
Yeah, really. This is like something that we all know we couldn't make in Portal. You could maybe make some sort of like something similar, but you couldn't have like that. I think the AI skins and the fact that they've gone full in on like the aesthetic of the mode more than just what's happening. They've actually got like AI that are literally different than the current one. So yeah, this is definitely something. It's definitely the most unique thing we've gotten in the whole game, I would say.
Oh yeah, like I love. For those who haven't seen the trailer, definitely recommend checking it out. It's a great look, but it's these AI recreation clone things that are butt naked and running around with just hammers or some blunt object, it looks like. So it's going to be more of it's going to be like a swarm versus a few, like mini versus a few type style game mode.
Yeah.
And from what I can tell, the cloned people are third person, it looks like.
Yeah, I think. I'm not 100%
Which adds
sure
to the whole idea of it being Ewok Hunt.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard trailer to actually. I kind of found it was weird in that I still don't fully know what's going on, because I watched it twice. The first time I thought that they're playable. Then I thought, are these just actual AI soldiers and we're like bringing them into the battle, because I feel like they didn't explain it that well. So it looks cool either way, but I still don't fully know what's happening, to be honest.
I don't know what's happening, but it looks cool. Yeah, I didn't get the right. I don't know. They didn't really show too much, which is great on one hand, but also like makes talking about the mode a little bit more difficult, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm excited though. Like, it definitely seems exactly what I want a limited time only mode. Like, talking about the whole idea of it not being portally is great. I think they did a really good job of making it seem unique in the game mode or in the game itself, and just generally offering something really spooky. I'd say my only criticism from that trailer is it doesn't seem like it's dark enough. Like, I kind of want all the lights to be turned off and just flashlights.
Yeah, it's a dark map, but it's not like proper dark. I want it to be like, I want to be scared. The whole point of a Halloween thing is I want to actually feel fear when I'm playing this game, which might make
when
me
I see one of those dudes coming my way.
Yeah, like it might make me a bit psychotic to want to be scared while I'm playing a video game if it's not a horror game. But I don't know. I feel like they should have gone a bit more in on the scare factor. It's probably a bit of a nitpick. It still looks like it's going to be pretty chaotic, and that in itself is kind of scary when there's just a lot going on and you just panic and you go, oh god, what's going on? Like, that can be fun in itself. So yeah, it looks good. It looks very good. This is by far the most curious I've been to play any of the modes so far. Like, it could be amazing, it could also suck, to be honest, and I'm very curious to figure out which one is going to be. I think it'll be good. It looks fun, and just the fact that it's so unique, I think, is in itself a good thing, even if it's not, the most balanced mode and stuff like that. I think that doesn't really matter because it's a bit more like a bit more unique, really.
So I had to look up the numbers because I was curious about how many people are going to be playing. It's 12v12, which I kind of think is too small. Like, it looked really packed.
Yeah, I guess
in that trailer.
Yeah. So maybe are they AI then? Because I don't know. Keep in mind also, like, this trailer came out today as we're recording, and I got up at 3 a.m. and watched it twice, and then have been busy since. So I actually just did not watch it in the right frame of mind. I'm probably too tired when I'm watching it to fully take it in. But are they AI or are they players? I genuinely do not know.
So this is what they say. Kill Switch is our new limited time game mode. Your objective is to secure AI nodes and to use the on-site forge to create an army of synthetic soldiers, geists who will fight alongside anyone that spawns them. Defend your objectives, survive the onslaught, and stop the AI spread. So it doesn't seem like you can play them.
Yeah, so that does definitely sound AI to me.
Yeah.
Which then would also, I guess, explain 12v12, because it's technically like 24 players plus, like, God knows how many bots, because they look like there was freaking heaps of them in the trailer.
Swarms.
Yeah, so I guess that makes a bit more sense. I do have, like, some negative feelings towards that, but I will save that for a bit later on. But yeah, it still definitely looks and sounds very, very interesting to me.
I'm so fascinated by it. Like, I do wish you were able to play them. Like, I feel like that's a missed opportunity. Like, I would love to see this. It's almost like defibs, like defibs versus knives, or defibs versus guns even. Like, that was kind of what I was expecting from that trailer, and that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
But that's not something that you can do.
Yeah. That's sort of the negative that I was talking about, that I feel that is a big missed opportunity. And look, to be fair, that's probably a huge undertaking to be able to make us, like, it's almost like adding a new specialist, really. They got to have a whole new character. So I do get it. For a limited time mode, maybe it's not worth it, but it would have been cool to have something like that. I really wanted something like Ewok Hunt, where it was, like, we're playing as them, and maybe make them, like, they've only got melee weapons, maybe make them a bit tanky. Or I guess if there's so many of them, they can't really be tanky. But yeah, they could have just done something really, really cool. But again, until we play, I can't really say whether that would be better or worse. I still think the way that it is, the trailer just looked amazing. Like seeing a bunch
It'll
of
at
them
least be
swarming at
interesting
you.
and
Yeah,
intriguing.
yeah, 100%.
But that trailer definitely made me feel like, oh, this is what they're doing, and that's not what they're doing at all.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I didn't know if I just watched that trailer in the because I was so tired and I just didn't get it. But I guess if you didn't get it either, then it's not just me. And probably a lot of people just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, looks cool, but what the hell am I looking at?
It looks great. I don't know what it looks like though. Yeah, that was my only like, okay, what's I'm glad I looked it up because like I would have been like, yeah, you can play him, right?
Yeah.
No, you can't. Yeah, that's not a thing at all. But like, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Would it be my preference to be able to play him? Yeah, because I look freaking awesome, and it's such a different feeling type thing. This almost feels like what the next iteration of Hazard Zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the AI, because they developed a pretty robust AI engine for this game that they just haven't been able to use because they killed off Hazard Zone.
Yeah, it's all a bit mysterious with the Hazard Zone stuff. I still don't fully understand their attempt there. I've never seen a game mode killed off so fast before. Like it was like a month after launch, it felt like that they were like, oh, well, we're killing that mode. Like at least give it a chance. So surely give it an update or something. But nope, they killed it immediately.
Oh, this is interesting. Reading more of the patch notes. So there's a thing called the Forge, and they say it's the key in reversing any advantage. Once a Forge is active, it will spawn a wave of Geists every few seconds, regardless of who owns the Forge. You have up until the very last second of a wave being synthesized to change the allegiance of the imminent horde and turn them to your side. So they're just going to be spawning, and whoever controls them is the one that benefits from them.
Okay, that makes it a lot more chaotic because I thought it was like, if it was AI, I assumed it was like, yeah, you've got to capture points essentially, and then that will spawn them for your team. But if that's actually really cool if they just spawn anyway, and then I guess if they just spawn and no one's, I guess, owned them, they're just gonna go try kill everyone, that's gonna be pretty cool. So yeah, that sounds very interesting to me. It's a very, very unique mode. Like I really, now that I know it's AI, I don't think I've really ever seen a mode like this. It's almost seeming like it's like a zombie based, like a wave based zombie mode sort of, with a multiplayer game going on in the middle of it. Like it sounds
and adding to that, they have this whole new mechanic. So this kill switch objectives known as nodes work differently from flags. Both teams simultaneously have capture progress, and the first team to hold the node for the assigned time will take the point. This means that if your team makes 50% progress on a point and then are pushed off of it, you will retain that 50% while the enemy makes their own progress on the point. A comeback is always on the card, so never let your guard down. This is fascinating because like you can claim that for 50% of the time, but if you lose it, the other team has just amount, like they're not eating away at your success, they're building upon their own and trying to basically race you to capture more percentage of that point.
Yeah, that is, it's actually the more I learn about it, it's sounding more and more unique, to be honest. So
yeah,
I like that. That sounds good.
Yeah, same here. Like I think that's one of those points that's like, okay, yeah, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this. It's not Portal-y, which I think is what we all were afraid of them doing. And like Portal's not bad. Like I don't want to. I think it just shows like how the whole idea of Portal has failed in so many ways that we now see it as like a negative when it's actually really, really cool.
Yeah, I think the thing with not wanting it to be Portal-y is that like we can do that. Is I want when there's a limited time mode,
Give me something I can't do.
I want them to be like, here's something that I don't care how good you are at making Portal servers, you can't do this, and this is it just gives it more it's more enticing because if they, for example, like the conquest modes and stuff, I played them because it was something new, but it wasn't enticing. It wasn't like, oh, I have to play that mode. It was just like, oh, there's a new mode, I may as well play it. This one is actually like, oh, geez, I have to play that mode. It sounds absolutely mental.
Yeah.
And that's the type of stuff we want. And I think to do that, you have to make it a bit more unique. And yeah, I think that it does, like you said, it does sound like negative towards Portal, but it's not so much negative towards Portal. It's just that we're looking for something a bit more unique, and
yeah,
this is definitely that.
I want something I can't do myself. I want something that only DICE can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Not something I can just go in there and build with my buddies.
Yeah.
Like Portal's awesome, but like I feel like a bunch of it is I don't know. It's weirdly negative in my mind when I think about it.
Yeah.
Which it shouldn't be, because Portal's awesome. And I want them to less of this idea that they can just so easily put something together, and more of let me see some mechanics that we haven't seen in Battlefield before, and two, something that I can't do myself.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the other part of it too, isn't it? Something that we haven't seen before. Because if they just did brought back a mode from an old game that was limited time, that would still be cool. But it's like, give us something different. That's why I was so keen on something like Ewok Hunt, or a zombie-based, I keep saying zombies, it's not zombies, but like a wave-based mode, just something that they haven't done before. Because I'm always curious to see how they can handle that stuff, and how, I don't know, like you look at Battlefront 2, Jetpack Cargo, that was awesome. Then Ewok Hunt was awesome. Like they it's the same company obviously, but they back then, that stuff.
It's what people think about.
Yeah, like I don't know, they did so well with it then, and it makes me go, okay, well, and to be fair, maybe Star Wars like a bit different because it's got more to draw from. Like even an exact replica of Ewok Hunt in Battlefield maybe wouldn't be as cool because it's not set in the forest of Endor with like Ewoks and stuff. It's not as exciting, but I don't know. I want to see.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah, I want to see what they can come up with, and this is finally. I think the thing with this is that it's finally, after so long, we actually are getting the mid-season event we wanted, which is definitely a big positive, because I think you and I have been saying this pretty much since season 1. I can't even remember this. Like, that's kind of my point. I can't even remember the mid-season events around then. I remember the Spearhead one because there was 3 weeks of it, and it was just because the map was amazing. I can't remember pretty much any of the others except for that shutdown one, I think it was.
Yeah, that one was sweet.
Yeah.
And both of those are... the shutdown one is an example of them doing something that you can't do in Portal. And one, they just had a really good map with Spearhead. So it's like, I want to play any variation on that map that I possibly can.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, let's be honest here. Most of us was playing because it was 24/7 Spearhead.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I think something that we should note is how much it's drawing from this idea of what Battlefield 2042 is. I feel like they're finally getting a feel for what the vibe of 2042 is. Bringing something in there that makes you think like, yes, this is fully taking advantage of the timing, taking an AI. You can't do that in Battlefield 1. That's just not a thing. And 2, like, making it believable and scary, tying it into Halloween, tying it into these real world events, and bringing something that only Battlefield 2042 can bring.
Yeah, exactly. And the game does have a lot to offer in, especially like its setting, I think, is the perfect. That's why I'm really happy with the AI stuff.
That they haven't really done at all.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I want more. As much as I don't really care that much about the storyline side of it, it is a very unique area that I would love to see them do more with, because that like setting isn't, for example, Call of Duty can't really, unless they make a slightly futuristic shooter, they can't really do that stuff. Well, they can, but it's not as effective, I feel. And Yeah, I want them to make the most of that, but they sort of haven't so far, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Which is a shame, because I feel like there's so much that you can bring from this idea of 2042. It is 19 years away, so they have a lot of leeway from like where we are right now in our current timeline. They have a great example of this idea of the state of the world, of Russia versus the US, and this idea of non-patriated, and these different forces trying to become humans and have a place in society, but the only thing that they can do is to fight for it. There's this idea of this need for safety. This if you look at the locations, what they're trying to do is, hey, the world's to crap right now. Basically, nature is taking over. The world is on fire. How can we move forward with this and make it work? Like using the timeline, using this position, using this idea. And I think they've had great ideas. They just had less than successful execution of those ideas.
Yeah, that seems to be the kind of through line with this game, is the execution side of it. It's what has probably let it down the most. But let's just hope with this one
also,
that's not the case. Like, it's an awesome idea, and I hope hope the execution isn't sort of the same as what it has been for the last one.
And honestly, it's a great time for this. They had the free weekend. They have a really robust player base right now, continuing to stay strong after that free weekend. Because I mean, you can get Battlefield 2042 on Game Pass if you have Game Pass. It's super cheap now as well. Like, I think I saw it for like $10 or $15 or something like that. Like, it's super cheap. It's super accessible. You can get it basically anywhere. And now they have this limited time only mode that's Halloween themed. That's going to bring a lot of people in.
Yeah, it's definitely a big selling point. And like you said, the timing of it couldn't have been any better, because they've got a new influx of players. So all of those players will be still, having fun with just the base game, because it's all new to them. But then at the perfect time, then they're going to be like, oh, damn, there's also this new mode. Like, that'll be... It's almost like faking it to those new players that this is how it always is, when in reality it's we're about to go 4 months without any content, essentially. But to those players, they don't really know how that goes. So to them, they're like, oh, okay, I got this free, had a bit of fun, then maybe I bought it and it's it's still fun, and then there's a new game mode. This is cool. It's all exciting at once, and that's going to hook a lot of people in. But yeah, hopefully they don't fall for it too much, because that's unfortunately not what we do, like, the whole time.
We're getting these every month, right? If only. No, but I think like perfect timing on their end. Again, talking like, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I don't think that they have enough content for that 4-month period that they now have for season 4. But this whole update is going to bring people in on that battle pass big time. I feel like if you're not going to be joining the battle pass, like, you're missing out on some really cool skins.
Yeah, this is by far the best one so far. Like, I love it. It's got so much more. Not even to say the other ones were bad. I thought all the others, they've all gotten better each time, but this one just feels like a huge step up. I don't know if it's... I think it's probably a large part of it's just like the skins are so sick. The like AI themed skins, that's probably a big part of it for me. But still, like, yeah, it's a great battle pass.
The whole theme, again, they're just freaking cool. Zombie AI clones, like,
yeah,
in no universe is that not cool.
Yeah. I think that's the thing with this game, is that it just has that freedom, like you said earlier, to do that kind of thing. If they did that in Call of Duty, it might be a bit more goofy, because like that is more grounded in reality, and that it's kind of like a modern setting. Whereas this is, even though it's still modern-ish, it's like we all know that it's not real. So I think you've got that ability to just have a bit more freedom with it, I guess.
Yeah, like again, tying into this idea that sands are taking over like the city, and this idea of AI and Russia and the US, like they're leaning in more of like the stereotypical things, but that also gives them the freedom to play around with this expansion of the ideas of 2042, of being near future. It gives you so much in terms of the technology, gives you so much in terms of what you can pull off and still be taken seriously. Because like I feel like people expect somewhat of that with like zombies being a thing in Call of Duty, but like I don't know if like AI zombies would be a step too far with Call of Duty, but in Battlefield 2042 in particular, it's not a step too far at all, in my opinion.
Nah, it definitely, the way that they've like made it fit the story is perfect. I feel it's because it's not really being sold as this like weird, goofy, like, hey, look at this, there's weird zombies. They've actually explained it really well. They're essentially like trying to make AI to try and win the war, which, and like, if you told me this 5 years ago, maybe I'd be like, that's a bit dumb, but when you look at AI now, it is literally just like taking over the last year. It's like talked about everywhere. So it's kind of a relevant topic for them to, like, they actually timed it really, really well. Because 5 years ago, it would have seemed like iRobot. It would have seemed too unrealistic, I feel. But now it's kind of like, oh, that actually kind of sort of makes sense. And I just think they've just done the story of it perfectly, that it actually... It's not just a horror mode. For example, Call of Duty currently is doing like their own Halloween thing, and it is just essentially zombies and like just weird, supernatural stuff. Whereas this isn't supernatural. It's actually just literally part of the story that there's just this corrupt AI that has, been, something's gone wrong with it, and it's just the AI soldiers have come loose. That's not, even though it is partly horror, it's not like... It's not fully supernatural to this story. In our world, obviously, that's a bit supernatural. But in the game, it actually feels like it makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. So they mention in this post around some of the gadgets that you can use, obviously, that best take advantage. And they say, what is it? They say... shoot down sentinels, insertion beacons, claymores, incendiary grenades, and smoke grenades will all prove vital in successful ambush or defense. Maybe that's why they didn't care about it being dark, because they know everyone's going to load it with some smoke grenades.
Yeah, true. That is a good point.
And speaking of our favorite maps, you will be able to play it on Redacted, Manifest, Hourglass, and our fave, Spearhead. So... I think it's going to be interesting to see how well it plays on like Manifest and Hourglass, which are two of some of my least favorite maps in the game.
Yeah. Look, I guess because Redacted's smaller, maybe they didn't. I wanted it to just be Redacted.
Just being.
Yeah. Like that just makes sense. It is the spooky map. It's dark. It's close quarters. That's perfect for it. And to have it on others, maybe there'd be some others that it would work on. But Hourglass isn't scary, man. It's just a desert.
I'm just going to tell you right now. Every time it spawns on Hourglass, I'm not playing.
Nah, that's also that just doesn't work in the open, does it? Like you just shoot them from long range.
Yeah,
that's just not fun. Stuff like that, where it's especially melee combat, even if it was players or whatever. The fact that it's now AI too, like I'm just sitting up on that broken down bridge and they're not going to get me. I'm just going to sit up there with McKay and shoot him. Like that's just too easy. So,
yep.
Redacted only would have been cool. And I also get that. Yeah, like maybe that would have got boring. They've probably tested it a lot, and they I'm going to assume they know better than us on this in this case. But I think maps like Hourglass wouldn't have worked. Maybe, Manifest and like maps that are suited to it where that's a bit darker as well. And like, I don't know, Stranded on the inside section would be chaos. Like those maps can work for sure. But I don't know, Hourglass, that's a big L for me. Like like you said, I'm just skipping it. As soon as I see that load up, I'm like, nope, I'm going back to the menu and searching for another lobby.
And Manifest is a super mid map. Like,
yeah. It's just not like, it just doesn't do it for me. It's not. Mid is the best way to put it because it's not even like bad. It's just not good either.
Yeah.
It's just like, it is literally the definition of mid. It's just like, I don't know. Not sure how I feel about that. Again, we'll have to wait and see till we play. I can't really probably judge it, but at face value, it's not that exciting having to play on those maps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll just be like a Spearhead. I'm excited to see because but are they going to do a night mode of Spearhead? Like,
yeah, it would look cool in the daytime. Like the AI soldiers would suit that map where it's like just green fields and then there's
it is kind of stormy. Yeah.
AI running around, but it would be just all so much better in the dark. I don't know why they.
Yeah,
I don't know. Halloween is not like, it's not scary when it's daytime. I don't care what. If you put a horror game, imagine someone makes like Alan Wake 2 just came out today. Imagine that was just in the day.
Yeah.
Like, that's not instantly not scary. I don't care what the game entails. If it's in the daytime, you cannot. I don't know how anyone can feel scared in the daytime when it's light.
The only thing that I feel has successfully done something scary in the daytime is Midsummer, and that's just psychologically
true.
Destroying and scary.
Yeah. We'll have again. I don't want to get. It probably sounds like I'm already complaining about it. We'll have to wait and see how it plays, but it's it's more just like odd choices to me. It's a very weird decision from them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't quite understand it, but I'm looking forward to this whole game mode. But I feel like it's a little bit of a miss not to just have it be on Redacted.
Yeah. The only reason it would make sense for me is like it must have just gotten boring too quick when they were testing it or something, but yeah, I don't know. I still just
they
think
ran into the same problem that we're all going to be running into over the 4-month period.
Yeah,
there's not enough content with just one map in a season.
Yeah, maybe they should have play tested that and see how that works because it's definitely not going to work.
How about you play one map for 4 months? See how that goes.
Oh, goodness.
But yeah, I'm super excited. Looking forward to it. I think the whole design and style and gameplay mechanics of this map is really unique.
Yeah. I'm very, very keen to. It's like I said, it's the most excited I've been to play a new mode. Like, I'm actually really keen for it. I've got it in the calendar and everything when it drops because I'm just very keen to give it a try.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very excited about this because I think they're capturing the spooky vibes perfectly when it comes down to it.
100%.
And like that's all I want from a Halloween mode is to give me the spooky vibes.
Yeah, literally. Which you can't really get from outside, but that's a story for another day. If they're going to do daytime maps in the outside sections, that might not work, but they'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Oh look, there he is running towards me. Yep, he's still running towards me. He's still going. Yes, but we'll see. Well, with that, thank you all so much for listening to this episode. Let us know your thoughts on the upcoming mode, and are you excited about it? Let us know in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube, or contact at uplinkpodcast.com. We'd like to thank Ethan Clark for the beautiful thumbnail and all of you for listening. As always, we'll see you on the battlefield.